Hey guys, I'm in a real rush right now, but I realized I have not uploaded in a few days and I wanted to amend that. I've got a lot going on right now, working a lot, almost done editing my movie trailer, stay tuned. So I wanted something that I could, with the very limited time I have, just something I could knock out immediately on the spot. And then it hit me. This video, just because it's going to be quick, does not mean it's going to be less valuable. On the contrary, this question gets asked all the time. How do I get into DPP OU? It's a past generation. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to start. And this really applies to any past generation of OU. So if you really want to get into Oris or Sun and Moon or Black and White, whatever, Advance, the same basic principles apply. I'm really just going to give you the right ideas of where to look. It's very easy. Okay, on the Pokemon Showdown side of things, you open Pokemon Showdown, you go to the Ruins of Alph room. You just go, into the rooms, you scroll down, you can control F if you want. Ruins of Alph, it's right there. Right? They hold tournaments in here all the time. Good players join them. Let's scroll up a little bit. Oh, they had a Gen 6 doubles OU tournament not long ago. Most of the time they have standard tournaments, but sometimes they have like fun stuff as well. So you can join those tournaments. You can ask in the chat. I could ask right now, does anyone want to play DPP OU? And I guarantee someone would want to. Or if, the chat's not very active right now and, there are no tournaments being held, then you hop on the ladder. You might have to wait a little bit, but good players play on the ladder, right? So there's no shortage of games to be found. And if you want to take things a step further, then you go to smogan.com/forums and you find some tournaments to join. You just do a little bit of browsing here. Not the official Smogan tournament. Nothing. Smogan Classic is only once a year, but those that is the DPP Cup, obviously. But the circuit tournaments, that's where you want to go. See, and just Control F circuit. Or I'll zoom in real close here, so you can't miss it. You go to the home page. It's very easy, and you scroll down. Oh, tournaments. Oh, circuit tournaments. Super easy. You click there. I don't even have any links prepared because it's that easy to find. I can just go here. Okay, well, DPP OU, old gen metagames, right? Look at all these old gen metagames. You got Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 6. They have summer seasonals. They have cup. Actually, those cups are for the things that aren't in other tournaments. Doesn't matter. Globals, those happen all the time. The seasonals, those are, as the name suggests, seasonal, so they happen a lot. And the global, there's always, see, look, DPP OU Summer Seasonal number 5. These things, they, so this part is easy. Okay, you're going to say, I know where to go to play now. I can join forum tournaments. I can ladder. I can play in Ruins of Alph room tournaments. I can ask people for games. And so I'll have no shortage of games. But I don't know the tier. Where do I go to understand the metagame I'm playing? Well, first of all, practice makes perfect. But okay, I understand. You need a team to start you off, right? I mean, you could also just look at the list of Pokemon that are, available to you in Gen 4 OU and just go, well, I like, Fortress, so I'm going to use Fortress, and then, trial and error. But, that's going to be needlessly long and difficult. So, go back to the home page, right? Scroll down. Ruins of Alph. Past generations, right? You see that? You can just Control F it again, but I'll zoom in real close so you can't miss it. Ruins of Alph, right? We're looking for DPP. We go to DPP, right? Look at all these resources, viability rankings, and now you say, oh, Fortress isn't that good. It's all the way down here in C2, so these need to be updated anyway. So, I want to use something good like, oh, I guess Heatran and Metagross are good. Gyarados is pretty high. I'll try that. Things like that. And these threads are always full of discussion, right? So look at this first post. Is just a very experienced, very strong player, Johnny G2, talking about why he feels this and this and this. Right? So you learn more about the metagame. It's like, oh, Breloom likes to get used alongside Heatran because of reasons. Okay, that's good to know. So with these kinds of things, in addition to just playing and trying things out, then you will gain more of a theoretical knowledge, so you know what people are likely to use. Right? Viability rankings. Creative sets. Oh, wow, that's a great one. Oh, look at this. Jirachi recently held a DPP tournament, and that's an invitational, so that's not just, any tournament. Oh, look, there are more tournaments here in the respective subforms of each past generation, like the DPP Premier League. I mean, that's fantastic. They have OU. They also have UU and Ubers and stuff. So if you want to play that, so that's great. Oh, speaking of past, if you want, because the DPP Premier League and the other past gen Premier Leagues, they are Premier Leagues, meaning team tournaments, and there's also the Ruins of Alph Premier League. Look at that, last post, 12 minutes ago. Ruins of Alph Premier League. Now this, you got to be a little known in the tour scene. Or not even the tour scene, just the past gen scene, because it's not like the super elite prestigious SPL where it's super limited. This is just, hey, I've seen that person, play on the ladder. I've seen that person play in Ruins of Alph. I've seen that person so-and-so. So, let's pick it up, because there's a lot of spots to fill in Ruins of Alph, and it's not the most serious tournament, so it's a good gateway. If you join some circuit tournaments, you do okay, and it's like, oh, next step, Ruins of Alph Premier League. There you go, right? So back to DPP, and the final thing here, actually two more things. Sample teams, right? So these should probably be updated as well. But, if you want just a set of Pokemon to use, then you really can't go wrong with these, right? And here's a big one. You do not need someone to tell you, whether a team is optimal or not, right? Like, I see this happen a lot. Like, oh, how will I know if the sample team is good or not? It's like, I don't know. Try it. Get out there on the ladder. If something's working for you, great. If you decide that you would rather use Surf before you ever touch Hydro Pump again, then change Hydro Pump to Surf. Change Zapdos to Fortress if you want. Whatever, but you got to try it. That's the most important thing. And say, oh, this works because so-and-so. Tyranitar is good because it switches into so many things. Whereas Lucario is tougher to use because it doesn't switch in as much. Just stuff like this. Experience. And you can say, okay, I understand that. But I want to see the best of the best play. I want to pick up ideas from them. I want to see what they're using team-wise, set-wise. I want to see how they're using them. I want to see what their plans are with lead Azelf or against lead Azelf or things like that, right? Okay, well, that's perfect. Because another way to learn is not just by reading all these threads and then trying it out for yourself in tournaments, but you can also watch the best players play. So, recently, Jirachi hosted this DPP OU Invitational. And there are a lot of teams. Oh, look at this. Even the players sometimes post in this thread explaining their thought processes. Look at this. Ladon, he's a great player, and he's posting his team, so even more teams for you to try out if you like. And oh my god, look at how many teams there are in here. Oh my god, even more. And threads like these are abundant. I think ZF posted. Yeah, look, ZF literally posted a thread that's just called DPP OU teams. So, teams are overflowing here. Right? So then you go back to the invitational thread, you look at those teams, and oh, no, yeah, okay, see, look, if you want more details about the tournament, go check the replays and usage stats thread. That's what I was looking for, right? Look, Jirachi DPP Invitational, teams, replays, usage stats. These are fantastic, right? So look at this. You get usage that you're like, wow, Latias is #1 in usage. That's crazy. If only BKC would make a video on why Latias is used so commonly. Oh, wow. If only that were coming. Yeah. So look at this. All these teams. Okay. And here's another thing. People will say, oh, where can I find the Pokepastes of these teams? The answer is you can. Not every team ever used in a tournament is available for you to copy and paste. Yeah. Just seeing these sets of 6 Pokemon and the replays, that's more than enough. I mean, look at how many there are. Good lord, this is an entire tournament's worth. These are hand-picked players. So, you know what? If you really want to use these teams, you can. You just have to recreate them, and there you go. They're yours. You can use them as much as you want. And you're like, oh, well, what if I can't recreate them 100% because I don't understand the metagame as well? I guess that's the case, I guess you just really don't want to use these free teams. Don't limit yourself. If you really want to use this M-Dragon team and this Ladon team, even though you don't have the exact Pokepastes, then just try. That's the most important thing. The point of getting into a tier is not for you to have unbridled access to every thought that ever popped into a top player's head as they constructed the team, which you also have all the details of. It's to get you started, get you on your own way, so you're not just always copy-pasting other players' things, right? So look, I don't even if I watch the replay right now of M Dragon versus Ladon, I don't know that I would know, like, let's try it just for kicks. I don't know that I would know every EV spread on this team immediately. I mean, I could go to the damage calc. Okay, that's an offensive Latios, great. I don't know the exact EVs on road. I can get an approximation. Looks very calm. But then again, Empoleon bulk. So yeah, you can. Oh, that's a nasty Hydro Miss. You can recreate these kinds of things. You don't have to be. It's like, oh well, I don't know if the Empoleon is 216 special attack EVs or 176 special attack EVs. You know what you do in that case? You make the call yourself. You say, okay, well, 176 seems fine, and that allows me to have more bulk EVs in bulk, which I will very much appreciate. So, you do not need to have everything super. Oh wow, don't copy paste this exactly, because this Breloom has Effect Spore instead of Poison Heal by accident. Down goes the Heatran. Look at Effect Spore Breloom go. Right? So even if you don't know exactly what this Breloom's EV spread is, you will figure it out. It will be fine. Right? So you have all these replays and teams, and oh my god, and you can study how they're playing. Oh, I wonder why. And here's another thing. A lot of the time I see comments like, oh, well, I don't understand why a player made a certain move in a game, right? First of all, like, if you don't understand why a player made a certain move, that doesn't mean it was a good move necessarily. But what you can do, and again, you will not have a 100% answer to this, but you can try and figure it out on your own. The answer is there. There are only so many moves that can be made in Pokemon. And you need some metagame knowledge to understand this, of course. Like, oh, well, why did that Empoleon stay in on, I don't know, Specs Heatran? Whatever, stuff like that. Because you will need a little bit of metagame knowledge, but eventually you will figure it out. You will pick up this stuff from watching the best players. And of course, not every, this is the final thing, I think, not every past generation has its own invitational. I don't think Gen 5 has had one, because nobody wants to play Gen 5. Had to get that in there, right? But there is a tournament where, you go back to the tournament section. Smogon Premier League. This is the biggest tournament on Smogon. It features every past generation. You go here. Where's the replays? Oh, well, this uses that too. Look, replays. And you just scroll through. Look at that. Every single... And this happens every single year. You have literally years and years. And the last thing I will say, I guess, is... I guess because I'll probably wind up saying something else, is people will say, oh, well, I don't know if these teams are up to date or not. Let me assure you, the teams, like, yes, okay, they might have been built a few years ago, but the fundamentals of past generations in particular, they are not really going to change. To take a DPP example, Heatran is always going to be Heatran, right? And sometimes people might prefer modest Heatran. Other times they might think you can't do anything other than timid or calm or whatever, right? But those are details, right? And you will figure those out in terms of what works best right now for you. You will say, oh, well, this modest Heatran hits really hard and I like it. Do I need the extra speed? I wonder. I can make that decision because I'm thinking about it. I'm trying it, right? So even if you say, oh, I just want the most current games, okay, well, you have the most current games. You want to go back like 2 years, then these replays are here too. These replays go on for years and years. I could look up any random DPP replay from 2017 or earlier, and I would find something worthwhile in there. Because even if the metagame specifics have changed, and a lot of the time, again, the fundamentals are the same. Even if the metagame specifics have changed, I want to see the top players navigating this tier, right? And how they play the game of Pokemon in general, because a lot of this stuff isn't even well, there is tier-specific stuff, of course, but there is also just general Pokemon fundamentals, right? And I want to see that, so I'm going to go back in time. I'm going to be like, hey, wow, this Earthworm guy was really good at GSC. Wow, this player was so good at DPP. That kind of thing, right? So that is... Oh, and in case you don't want team tournaments, the Smogon Classic. This also features all the past gens. There's literally a replay archive of all the past generations, of all the playoff games, if you want to go here, right? So you go here, replays, all the playoff games. You want to see the individual cup finals? Yeah, go ahead. The finals of, let's go to last year's, right? Let's go to the DPP Cup finals of last, oh, that's from a couple years ago. I scrolled too far. But yeah, see, it doesn't matter because I'm going to go to the DPP Cup from 2020, the finals. Look at that. Oh, there are the replays. And there they are. So, fantastic. There you go. Oh, wait, no, that was from 2020. Why does that say 2020? That must be a forum glitch or whatever. Doesn't matter because, yeah. So, and if you go to any, yeah, okay, I'm starting to repeat myself, and I really am in a rush. So, thank you for watching / listening. I hope this was useful for you. Sorry. One more thing. I knew I was forgetting something. Okay, let's say you want to communicate with other players in this tier, right? Okay, check this out. Let's go to the DPP forum again, right? DPP Discord server. You go here, and forget that logo thing. You go here and look at that, a nice Discord link to the public DPP Discord. Every past generation has one of these. So whether you want to get into Gen 5 or Gen 3 or whatever, then you go to their respective forum. You know, let's do it right now. You know, we got their DPP one. Aurus should have a server, right? Aurus Discord server. There you go. I'm sure Gen 7 has one. Am I missing something? Oh, official community Discord. There you go. Right? So, whatever you... yeah, and there you go. And in those Discords, you will find even more resources. People talking about strategies. Oh, I like Gyarados right now because... Oh, I don't like Suicune because... You know, you can ask questions. And, because that's what this channel does... I have a Discord of my own. You can find the link in the description, and it is, of course, dedicated to all the past generations. You can ask questions wherever, and also get updates on my movie trailer, because that's perfect. All right, this video went on way longer than I expected, but I hope this is of some use to you, and if not, leave a comment. But this is very easy. Again, smogan.com/forums. The URL is even at the top of the screen right now, right? That's everything you need. Okay, hopefully I covered it all. If not, leave a comment.